So on today's Card Academy lesson, I'm going to go over a control known as the Dribble Toss control by a magician named Steve Bedwell. Now this was published in Trapdoor, which was a magazine all the way back in 1996, and I think it's a wonderful little bit of a control. And I'll show you even a modification of a trick that I posted for the piggybackers that could make use of this particular control as well. Now the control is very, very simple. All you have to do is have the spectator call stop. Let's say they happen to look at this card in particular. You could throw this card into the other packet very fairly, dribble these on top, and of course in that action you've controlled that card right to the top of the deck. So this is a very, very simple control to do. You're going to start with the cards of Mechanics Grip in the left hand, and you're going to dribble the cards, asking the spectator to call stop wherever it is that they want. Let's say they're having to call stop over here on the 4 of diamonds. Now there's a number of ways that you could go about doing this. This is the original way it was done, where the card is just simply pushed and then pushed back. That's all that's happening with the left hand. The card's going to get pushed and then pushed back. However, one thing that I like adding is to just tilt it over the left edge, the top left edge. Just by putting the thumb over there, you get an illusion when you slap the card back that the card is being thrown into the actual dribble itself. So you have not only this way to do it, where you're just putting the card out and putting it back in, but you could also rotate it and move it around the upper left corner by using your thumb, just like this. And then when you want to replace it back in the deck, all you have to do is just reposition your thumb so the card gets placed neatly back on top of its packet. So if you combine this with the right hand dribbling the cards on a table, you have a wonderful little bit of a control here. So here's the original as it was written up. All you have to do is have the card chosen and looked at, in this case a 4 of diamonds. And very simply, it looks like that card is being tossed into the dribble. However, that card is remaining on top. So all that we're doing is we're coming in with the card and we're pulling it back with the thumb. But when we're adding the cover of the dribble, it just looks like that card is being tossed inside somewhere at a random spot. Now at this point, you can place these cards on top and you control that card directly to the top. If you want to do it with this sort of side jog method or this angle jog method over here, it looks just the same. It just looks like that card is generally being tossed somewhere in the middle. And usually what ends up happening is that because of that area that you touched while the cards were dribbling, you're going to move a couple cards forward, which is going to give the illusion that that card is actually going in there. It's a wonderful little bit of an optical illusion as well, and something that could actually fool yourself if done correctly. You see that? It looks exactly like the card is being tossed. However, the card is being retained on top. Now, this is very, very simple control, so I'm going to show you a very, very simple trick to do with this particular control. So first things first, deck is mixed. All the cards that are face up that shouldn't be are fixed. And you have the spectator call stop wherever it is they want. Let's say they call stop over here. You're going to execute the control just like this. So it looks like that card is going in there. I might have jumped the gun there a little bit. You want to time it so that it looks like the card is going in. You don't want to do one of these. I'm teaching you what not to do. You don't want to do this right here. You want to make sure that you time it correctly so it looks like the card is being tossed somewhere in there. So one more time. You're having the spectator call stop. Let's say they call stop over here on this particular joker. You're going to do the control so they think their card is somewhere in here. However, their card is really on top of this packet. So it's going to be very similar to a trick that I recently put out. As a matter of fact, I think it was the last trick I put out for the piggybackers. All you're going to do is get this card in a position where it's 4th from the bottom of the deck. The reason for this is because we're going to use a coal. We're going to use a spread coal in a moment. So what I like to do, milk shuffle the cards once, which is going to put this card on the bottom. Then I'm going to add 1 and 2 more cards on top of that. So that card is now 4th from the bottom if I place it back as it was before. So let me explain that again. So after I milk, all I'm going to do is just thumb off one card and thumb off another card and then place this half over here behind these cards in the hand. So what that does is that places that card 4th in the context of an overhand shuffle. So one more time, that's 1, 2, 3. Place that back, and if you want, you could do another simple overhand or a simple false cut just to give the impression that you're mixing the cards. And you're going to have the spectator touch any card they want. However, you're going to spread coal this 4th card. So it's very easily done. As you are spreading the cards towards yourself, you're going to get this card into spread coal as you lower your hands to cover the action. And you're going to have the spectator touch any card they want. Let's say they happen to touch the 6 of spades. What we're going to do is that we're going to have this card over here, which is the card that we're going to switch in. I want you to remember that's the card the spectator picked, which is being spread cold here in the back the entire while. We're going to have the spectator touch any card they want. Let's say it's the Jack of Diamonds, and we're going to make sure that this card is going directly right there above the Jack of Diamonds. So if I turn this Jack of Diamonds face up, you see what's happening. that cold card is going directly below, or in this case, on top of the Jack of Diamonds. So now you're going to do a couple things at the same time. You're going to square this card up with the rest of the deck, which is in turn going to place that card actually below the Jack of Diamonds. However, the spectator doesn't know this. So when we turn this half over and thumb this card onto this remaining half, all we got to do is just re-square the deck, and we have successfully switched the card that they freely touched for the card that you're ringing in. In this case, it's their previously selected card. So at speed, it's a very, very simple action. All you're doing, sir, I want you to go ahead and touch any card you want. That one right there, the 7 of Diamonds. Perfect. Now we're just going to leave that card face down. Square it up, of course, it's the Joker at this point. They don't know that. Square it up, and you're done. You're done before they even think anything has happened. So at this point, you can tell the spectator, I don't want to touch it, but you picked the card, I threw it in there. Go ahead and look through it, see if you find your card. Of course, the spectator is going to look through this after whatever appropriate magical gesture, and they're not going to find the card they freely picked because their card is gone, supposedly. However, you remind them, and you have them spread the cards face down like this, so that when they spread it, they don't happen to see that the 7 of Diamonds is there. So you just tell them to spread the cards face down, spread through, and they're going to see that the card has changed into this card, which is a little bit of an impossibility, but it's a very, very simple control to do, and as you can see, it's very effective at making it seem like you're putting it into the other packet. So if the card face up, just for the sake of explanation here, that's all that's happening, and it looks beautiful. Let me do the other original method where you are just simply pushing up and pushing back. That looks like that. Very, very simple, very elegant, very beautiful. However, it's a very nice way of controlling a card from the middle, supposedly, to the top under a very fair action. So that is the Dribble Toss by Steve Bedwell. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Thank you guys for being members of the Pigcake Card Academy, and I hope to see you on the next lesson.